Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Taylor Knust with 31 Triple Doppler.
Speaking of farmers, some of them could use a little rain right about now.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dry stretch here for the second half of May. All of us are likely going to be ending this month with below average precipitation. I know it was a stormy start to the month, but things have definitely quieted down here recently. Here are the numbers at a few of our climate sites. In Muscle Shoals, where they measure at the airport, we have had 10 straight days without a drop of rain, 7 straight days in both Huntsville and Decatur. So yeah, things getting a little dry out there. Maybe your lawn's looking a little bit brown due to the lack of rain. We could use a little moisture. We're just not seeing much of it this evening. We did have a couple of brief downpours pop up in Jackson, Madison, Limestone counties. Those were very isolated and have since fizzled out. So we are completely dry at this moment in North Alabama on 31 Triple Doppler, and it is likely to stay that way for the rest of the night tonight. Still hanging on to some 70s in Huntsville, Fayetteville, and Scottsboro. The rest of us are in the mid to upper 60s at this moment, and we will see overnight lows in the 60s. 64 degrees in Huntsville overnight. Our rain chances just about wrapped up for the remainder of your Tuesday night. Wednesday looking very similar to today, with temperatures starting off in the 60s, warming to the low 80s by the noon hour, and we'll spend the afternoon in the low to mid 80s. Winds a touch stronger tomorrow than they were today. The big change from today to tomorrow is our isolated showers and storms will occur earlier in the day. They're going to pop up in the early afternoon rather than the early evening. Highs around the region: 85 in Huntsville tomorrow, 85 in Muscle Shoals, and 82 in Haleyville. Hardly any change as we head into Thursday. A high of 81 in Guntersville and 83 in Scottsboro. We do start to crank up the heat a little bit by Friday, with mid to upper 80s in the forecast at that point. That's a trend that will continue as we head into the weekend. But first, let's walk through future radar as we start through Wednesday. I think it's going to be dry in the morning, but we'll see those showers and storms pop up in a few spots early in the afternoon around 1 or 2 o'clock. Scattered storms possible through the afternoon into the early evening, then gradually clearing out as we head into Wednesday night. On Thursday, we do it all over again. Showers and storms popping up in the early afternoon, sticking around a few spots through Thursday afternoon, and then quickly clearing out on Thursday night. Friday, a couple models have a stray shower or two possible, but many keep us completely dry. So there is a chance that our Friday does end up being dry across the Tennessee Valley. Whether or not to water the plants is going to depend on if you get one of those isolated downpours, but just a general rule of thumb, I would go ahead and water them in the morning, even if you do have a slight chance at showers and storms. The odds are not necessarily very high, so I would keep the gardens well watered before you head out tomorrow morning. And we're generally not looking at heavy rain totals across the region for the next 7 days, with the majority of us expected to have less than an inch of rainfall through the first full week of the month of June. And of course, tomorrow is the last day of May, and it's going to feel like June as we head into late this week and much of next week as well. High temperatures continuing to climb to near 90 on Saturday and on Sunday. We'll stick around the mid to upper 80s most of next week as well. So after a brief reprieve from the heat this past weekend, we are back at it for sure.
No more early morning jackets.
I don't think so.
Sitting out on the porch.